the specialist from Taiwan Fund for Children and Families. And she will talk about their relentless efforts to achieve sustainable development goals. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that Nelson Mandela, or have you ever seen somewhere? Nelson Mandela, he once said, "Children are our greatest treasure. They are our future." It's a really famous quote. TFCF, her main affiliation, has definitely successfully responded to that. So TFCF has sponsored more than 100,000 children worldwide, and over half of them have been reached in partnership with other international NGOs. TFCF is also dedicated to offering long-term development programs that can make a sustainable, long-lasting impact. So let's welcome her to tell us more about it.
Hi everyone, I'm Jennifer from Taiwan Fund for Children and Families. Excited and also nervous, and whenever I'm nervous, I might speak too fast, so feel free to let me know if I speak too fast. Okay. So about the content of my first presentation, first it's a brief introduction of TFCF, and so a little bit about the history. I hope it won't be too boring for you guys. So in 1937, during the Sino-Japanese War, Dr. Coffey's Clark, he's a missionary. He witnessed a scene of devastation everywhere in a little town of northern China, and he tried to contribute himself to saving more orphans and homeless away from the war. So after he went back to the States, he tried to contribute himself to saving more orphans and homeless.
It works now.
Yay. Next. So after he went back to the state, he tried to call for the public's attention and established the China's Children Fund, which is the predecessor of the Child Fund. And in 1950, CCF established a children cottage home in Taiwan, which is the beginning of our service in Taiwan. So through 101 sponsorship, next one please. Through 101 sponsorship program, the sponsor contributes a fixed amount on a regular basis. With the financial support from foreign donors, we are able to provide service for children and families in Taiwan. And also in 1985, we became a fully independent organization. Furthermore, we have started overseas sponsorship program since 1987. So we have received foreign funding at the beginning stage and transformed into a self-sufficient organization afterwards. So what we have received makes us believe that our service should not be restricted to Taiwan only. So here's a map showing, it looks the same, but there is 35 countries where we are conducting our overseas sponsorship program, but we want to do more. So for providing direct service, we decided to establish overseas branch office. So Mongolia branch office was established as our first overseas branch office in 2004. And from then on, overseas branch offices were built sequentially in Kyrgyzstan, Eswatini, Vietnam, Cambodia, Jordan, and Philippines. And now we are assisting nearly 50,000 Taiwanese children currently, and we have helped more than 210,000 domestic needy children to be self-reliant. And to date, the number of foreign self-reliant children was up to 76,000, and we currently supports nearly 70,000 foreign children. And over $11 million have been devoted to overseas humanitarian assistance since 1987. And the next chapter will be about what we do in different countries. So in short, TFCF is an international NGO that provides support to vulnerable children and their family with professional social work practice. So we are aware of children's needs and their potential. On top of that, a social worker can play vital roles in international development field. And the most important of all, we see everyone as a capable individual. So as what I mentioned before, the base of all the service of TFCF is a sponsorship program. So we collect the information of the children, and we can match the sponsor and home visits so we can get the information. And with this information, we can match the sponsor and the needy children. And it's because TFCF doesn't rely on the resources of governments, so the sponsors are really important to the organization. So by the sponsorship program, TFCF connects people from different sides of the world, and also the connection between sponsor and TFCF has also been built and strengthened. So here comes another question. How do we work with different people in different countries, and how do we know whether we are on the right way? So in the light of ever-changing needs worldwide and unique contexts in different countries, TFCF introduced the SDGs of United Nations in 2007 as our framework. So even now we work in different countries, our structure is the same. So the service delivery must correspond to the framework of SDGs. So here are some programs under each SDGs. So like under SDG 1, we provide family support in kind, including the daily necessity and winter supplies. And under SDG 2, because we believe every child has the right to grow up safely and healthily, so we provide the food such as rice, food packs, or other nutritional products. So under SDG 3, because there are health examination, and medical treatment and health education are conducted. And SDG 4, because we know that education is a key to inspiring the children's abilities and a way to accumulate their assets. So we conduct many education-related programs to meet the needs of children at different stages. And as for SDG 6, because like in Mongolia or in Kyrgyzstan, people there it's difficult for them to get the clean water. So we built the water supply station so that to ensure that everyone has access to clean water. And also we provide the vocational training program in Mongolia, Kyrgyzstan, and Cambodia, so that women there can learn the skills and also earn money from it. And here's a sample that it's made from Kyrgyzstan's sponsored family. And also under SDG 11, we provide house renovation or reconstruction to needy family. And as for SDG 17, we really care the partnership with families, communities, and the local NGO. So we host the community conference to let the family and community to have a chance to express their thoughts or their needs so that our survey can be much more closer to the local need. Okay. And as for the impact and difficulties, the sponsorship program does have impact while we are also confronted with some difficulties. So first we did the research. It's about the impact of international sponsorship program in Taiwan and its evidence from Mongolia and Kyrgyzstan. So our sample includes 29,406 children, and 77% of them are the non-sponsored siblings who serve as a comparison group. So preliminary results show that children's sponsorship has a significant performance on health condition or the academic performance. And the longer a child was sponsored, the more likely he or she will have significant progress in health or academic performance. And not only the sponsored children are benefited, but also their family members are getting more involved in the community activities. On the other hand, we do have some limits of the sponsorship program. For example, we know that Vietnam is a communist country, therefore, according to the local regulation, INGO cannot do home visits without permission, which means sponsorship program couldn't be operated in Vietnam. And also in Jordan, the salary of a local staff is much higher than in other countries. So it means that we need to have more sponsored children to hire local, so that we all have enough fund to hire local staff, which is a really big stress for both the branch office and also for the headquarters. So this difficulty we confronted motivates us to think of the alternatives of sponsorship program. So in Vietnam and Jordan, we collaborate with local NGO to do the one-on-one sponsorship program. And this picture, the left picture is taken in an elementary school in Laos. Because in Laos and Jordan, we not only do the one-on-one sponsorship program, we also do the community sponsorship program. So the fund will be dedicated to assisting the development of the whole communities, so which can benefit more vulnerable children and their families. And another issue is how do we find a reliable partner? So it takes time to find the appropriate partner and to negotiate with them. So this picture, the middle picture is taken in Vietnam. So, because in Vietnam, we mostly just collaborate with the local NGO, so they have to spend a lot of time to discuss the detail of the programs and to negotiate to make sure that both TFCF and the local NGO are on the right way. So next is, and last but not least, advocacy is not TFCF's main mission, but we do advocate children's rights in Taiwan. But we also observe some social phenomena in the foreign countries that we think we should contribute to. For instance, gender inequalities. Women in these countries, they'll have less chances to choose the life they want. Or like children and women in this country might suffer domestic violence while there's no appropriate law to protect them. Though this thing happens every day, but it's risky for us to do advocacy in foreign countries, since we don't want to offend anyone and we want to respect the local culture, the local context. So even we want to do something, we just currently we just combine the concepts to the program we conduct in this country. So with these difficulties, we realize that we need to improve our strategy in different dimensions. So these are the prospects for the future. Okay. First is from assistance to developments. We know that teach a man how to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. So we should progress from simple resource allocation to infrastructure investments and human resource empowerment. And next is from input-outputs to impact. So we need to recruit economics and development studies into social work, so that we can not only do the midterm service, but also the longitudinal evaluation. And last is from accountability to sustainability. And accountability is on the siege when we are facing a complex society. And nowadays fundraising is not as easy as before. So we need to upgrade our fundraising and marketing skills to make the organization sustainable. So lastly, I want to share a video with you guys. It's about our service both in Taiwan and foreign countries. Though Taiwan is a small country, while we are able to help people in need in the borderless world with boundless love. Video, please. Thank you.